The older I get, the more I appreciate the wisdom of the old folks. I remember hearing my folks say, you get what you pay for, but I never really understood what they meant until I got old enough to pay for my own stuff. As a family, we were not rich by any means. In fact, with mom being a stay-at-home mom and dad a laborer, money was tight. In spite of it all, somehow they found a way to pay for name brand groceries. I didn't understand that strategy, but I have to admit that I enjoyed every bit of it. Don't get it twisted though. While we got name brand food, we never got name brand clothes or tennis shoes. To show you how bad it was, I remember making trips to the drugstore to get our tennis shoes and school clothes. If that doesn't help you to understand the state of our union, I don't know what will. I know some of you younger viewers are thinking, the drugstore? Really? You heard me correctly, the drugstore. As I think about it now, I think my folks were hypocritical. They subscribed to the theory with groceries, but clearly rejected it when it came to clothes and shoes. I feel cheated now, but what the heck, I ate good. I know that I should have said I ate well, but I wanted to make my point. Man, were those tennis shoes bad. I remember playing basketball in gym class when in elementary school, and while dribbling down the court, I stopped dribbling and stopped running, but I was still moving. Those plastic soles just had no grab at all. To add insult to injury, and to help make my point even clearer, they didn't last long either. You really do get what you pay for. Enough of the reminiscing, I've got to deliver my thought. Fast forward to my adulthood. While I made good living in high-tech sales, there were times when we were financially challenged, but given my upbringing, I too liked the name brand groceries and bought them as often as I could. There were times, however, when we were forced to buy generic, and let me tell you, you really do get what you pay for. The green beans just didn't taste the same. The corn was bland, the bread was doughy, and the sugar lacked the sweetness that I thought all sugar should have. Even now, while doing my own thing, that is, working for myself and trying to get this business off the ground, we occasionally have to go to the dollar store to buy stuff. That's why you all have to help this business to thrive so I can get my wife out of those dollar stores. She bought some aluminum foil the other day that should have been called aluminum foil. It was so thin, I thought it was saran wrap. On another occasion, she bought some dishwashing liquid that was so sorry, it would barely lather to give you a good hand washing, so you can just imagine how it performed. Did I say performed? With a sink full of dishes. I know you're probably asking, don't y'all have a dishwasher? My answer is yes, the house came with one, but we came with 5, children that is, and we use dishes as a chore to help teach responsibility and appreciation around our house. Well, back to the dishwashing liquid. I was suspicious of the dishwashing liquid the first time I grabbed the bottle because even the plastic was thin. You get what you pay for. So what's your point, you're asking? Well, this edition of Practical Assertion is aimed at getting you to think about how much you are paying for what you have. I want you to ask yourself, am I shortchanging myself trying to buy the cheap stuff? At this point, you may be a bit confused, so let me clear up the matter. I am by no means concerned about whether or not you buy off-brand or name brand. How you choose to spend your money is your business. I want you to think in terms of your investment in you. You have no doubt heard the saying, time is money. So if we use the thought that the currency that we are concerned about is time, how much are you spending and on what? You know how it is. We will often go cheap on the essentials in order to have the money to do the things that we enjoy doing, right? With time being our currency, are you guilty of going cheap with the children so that you can spend more time having a good time? I saw a very powerful story the other day on Facebook about a kid who asked his dad how much he made an hour and then asked if he could borrow half that amount. The father got upset, and in his anger, he sent his son to his room to think about how selfish he was. After some reflection, the father decided to go to the boy's room and apologize for his reaction and offered to give the son the money that he had asked to borrow. When the dad gave the son the money, He grew angry even more once he saw his son already had some money. Once the son had a chance to explain why he wanted the money, that he wanted it to buy an hour of his father's time so that he could spend that time with him, the father was heartbroken. Well, my time is up. I guess I spent too much time reminiscing. If you don't get anything else out of this edition of Practical Assertion, please take this thought. As a former youth minister and having spent countless hours counseling teenagers, the stuff that you buy them will never replace your time. Try spending more of that money that is on them, that is your time. I had a saying as a youth minister, and I still do, and that is invest now or pay later. With the holidays upon us, give the gift that really matters, the gift of time. Do you remember my reference to the old saying, time is money? If so, use that currency on your family, your children, your spouse, your mother, father, siblings, and other relatives, and really make this your reason for the season. Well, I've got to wrap this up so that I can get back with my family. Let me know what you think. Please go out to our website at www.asert-usa.com/blog and leave your comments there. Like us on Facebook, and please share this out to everyone you know. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week for another edition of Practical Assertion. One last thought before I close out. We will be releasing a series of courses that you can take to help you to enjoy a more meaningful life. So keep checking out our store for those offerings. One is already up and more to come. Remember, with your help, my wife can stay out of those cheap dollar stores. The address is on your screen. Please go out and we'll just look forward again to seeing you next week for another edition of Practical Assertion. Take care. Goodbye.